You're being tricked. Not right now, but all the time actually. Everywhere you go and every decision you make, you're being tricked. Not by someone else, but by your own mind. You see, there's a whole field of study around the psychology of buying behavior. And what we know is that people don't act rationally. They act based off of emotion and these tricks that our own mind are playing on us. But don't take my word for it. Here's a giant list of the tactics that people will use to influence your buying decisions. The simplest and most obvious one that people are aware of, but still works, by the way, is using a 99 price for something. So if it's gonna cost $5, instead make it $4.99. $10 will definitely make it $9.99. People will perceive that as cheaper, and there are studies out there that show that this truly does influence people's buying behavior. So in this video, I want to talk about just one of these so you can be aware of it to either yourself not fall into that trap or to take advantage of the trends that we're seeing and some really strange behavior that's happening in the altcoin space. This was first brought to my attention in an article on CoinDesk, which I will link in the description. It's a really great article, but I wanted to point out one specific place that I thought was really, really interesting. What they found is that the lower the absolute price of one discrete unit of that coin, the higher return it had over a 1 week period. And I thought it was really interesting how strongly correlated the price was to that return, all the way from $0.1 to $10,000 to $100,000. There's this nice smooth line down the chart as the returns decrease relative to the price of the coin. But of course, this isn't what matters. What matters is the market cap. If you had two currencies with the same market cap but vastly different prices, say $1,000 versus $1, a $1,000 investment is still getting the same percentage slice of the pie. And that's where we're tricking ourselves. The trick is that people would much rather own 100 ripples than they would 0.1 of a Bitcoin. So rather than just trusting that all of this data is true, I'm a skeptical person, and so I pulled up a tool and I wanted to verify this myself. So this is a website called Checkup. It's kind of an alternative to CoinMarketCap, and it has a lot more tools and filters that you can use to look at this information. What I wanted to see is whether this is playing out in just, small statistical variations, or whether I could just do some back of the napkin kind of gut check math and see if this is actually what's happening. So using the tools in Coin Checkup, I thought I would look at, let's just say 45 days and the percentage gains or losses on various coins. And I don't necessarily want to look at every coin because there's going to be a lot of outliers out there, or coins with really low volume. So in this market and trading, let's just kind of choose an arbitrary spot for the market cap. So 500 million, that seems about right to me. So now we have a list of all the 500 million market cap plus coins and a filter that we can look up and down. So let's start with looking at some of the biggest losers and just, again, using our gut. Let's look at this price and say, is this a high price or is this a low price? So I don't have an exact criteria. Maybe $20, $50 is kind of high because, there's a lot of currencies out there like Ripple that are really low. So let's just go down the list and take a look. These are the biggest losers, minus 13, minus 12%. So let's just go down. High price, low price. High price, high price, high price, high price, high price, high price, high, low, 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 high, high, low, low. So I'm seeing quite a few high prices here, but there's some lows scattered in. Let's instead filter it or sort it the opposite way. So let's look at the biggest winners. So immediately, right off the bat, you can see these coins that are having these gigantic gains are all the ones with really small values. Small, big, small, 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 biggish, small, 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 small. Obviously, that was not scientific. That was just kind of a gut check. I think I said small for some that were bigger than others and big for some small. You know what I mean. But it's pretty obvious just looking at this that if it has a value in the cents or fractions of a cent, pretty good chance that it's going to be one of these quickly growing young cryptocurrencies. So what can you do with this information? Well, first of all, just don't fall into the trap. If you're more of a long-term investor and you're looking for gains in the year, 2, 3, 5, 10-year time frame, don't trick yourself into thinking because you have more of that unit that you have a bigger slice of the pie. You don't. And then if you are an active trader and you're trying to gamble and you're trying to chase these coins that are going to have the, 10,000% gains in a month or two, that's maybe something to put into your equation when you're analyzing coins. If something comes out and it's already has a high unit price, it's pretty well correlated that it's not going to have as high growth as those coins that have a really low unit price. Anyway, that's about it. I found this interesting. I love this kind of behavioral economics kind of stuff. If you're interested in reading more about this kind of thing, I can recommend a book called Predictably Irrational. It talks about this exact subject, both in terms of prices and a whole broad range of psychological impacts that affect our decision making. All right, so I'll be honest, there's a lot of really terrible content on YouTube around this subject. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more kind of like information, data-based analysis of what's going on, definitely subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments below, what do you want to hear about? I'll do the research, I'll put it together in a package that is understandable and hopefully fun to watch. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.